Have you tried snails? Do let us know. And we will come back to Munson's. I won't play the jingle just in case it wakes more people up, T-Duck. But thank you very much. And who considers himself a troll and a friend. What a lovely combination. Variously troll and friend. Not voting is actually voting for none of the above. Yes, yes, absolutely. That resonates with me. Right, let's play his music and adjust the settings. I have to remember to do this each time we have a guest because playing music and talking to guests are two different audio situations, which got us into a little bit of trouble previously. Let's see if we can manage it better this time. Let's see him after this. Stand by, hold on to the edge of your seat or your bed.
Bom dia!
Olá, bom dia, tudo bem?
Muito bem, obrigado. E tu?
Excelente. Muito bem, muito bem. Qual é a tua comida favorita, James? Ou James?
O meu favorito.
Ou tua bebida favorita, meu amigo?
Bebida é fácil.
Sim.
E não sei. Superboc.
Excelente. Certo, verdade, Superboc. Para Senhor Oli, Jaime Oli.
Jaime Oli. That's the call I get when I'm at Centro de Saúde or somewhere. They're calling my name. Jama Oli.
Jamoli.
James Oli.
Agora em English. Muito bem, James. That was better than we've ever done, right?
Sim.
Am I right? Yes.
Muito melhor.
And there will come a day, perhaps, when the whole show is
Oh,
performed.
perhaps.
We shall see.
The thing is, I can understand as long as pronunciation is close with a foreigner speaking Portuguese, I can hear it better than I can hear it from a Portuguese. Because they tend to speak more clearly, more slowly. You can hear the sounds. In Portuguese, it's just sort of a wash of sound that I have to try to work out. So I'm finding it easier to communicate with non-Portuguese speakers.
Presumably No, that makes a lot of sense. I suspect as well, though, your ear is getting better and better because you make this is a thing for you, isn't it?
Yes.
Tune the ear. Yeah, big melon. I don't think that is what he meant there. That's his that's his comida favorita, and I love that phrase, comida favorita. I think I'm going to write a song with my kids called comida favorita or bebida favorita, and a kitten has just come into the doghouse studio. It could get a bit. It could get a bit lively and energetic in here. Oh my goodness, this is going to be interesting, James. Do you remember the time when Jenny came in and killed the show and you were left on your own on the screen?
I remember being left on the screen once or twice. No, but I don't remember specifically when Jenny did that. No.
Jenny the cat killed the show once, and there you were. I saw the clip the other day. Anyway, I can use this as a segue into what we might talk about, as well as the Portuguese bird of the month. We mustn't forget to do that. He's trying to forget the traumatic moments of being on the morning.
You have to mention it.
Well, this is perfect. This is the perfect setup for what we're going to talk about this morning. Your Old Guy in Europe video was a little trip down memory lane. I am loving those because they show me so many things that we've done and that I've forgotten about. The incredible meeting of Tony, Antonio, João F, Honk and Canny, and yourself, and how that went all a bit pear-shaped, and you used that as a way of, okay, life doesn't go according to plan sometimes. You've got to make the lemonade when you get the lemons. And that was a conversation from about 3 years ago. And I would say this whole thing of letting go, we are getting more tests, are we not, when it comes to letting go? So
It's all part of life, actually.
isn't it just? Who said it?
Day
Who
to
said we
day.
wouldn't? Right? Who
That's
imagined
right.
we wouldn't?
One of my commonly used phrases is, if it's not one thing, it's another. So
yes. Do you know that in Portuguese? I bet the Portuguese have got a phrase for that.
no, I don't. Although I did learn, what is your favorite? It was one of the very first phrases I memorized before coming here. So when I went to a restaurant and I didn't know the menu, I said,
Yeah.
"Qual é o seu favorito?"
Very good. Very good.
And then
But
they
you couldn't
go,
understand what they said.
and I go,
Uma, por
menu?
favor.
What's the menu?
Were you not adventurous and just saying, "Si, uma, faz favor"?
Está bem, okay.
And you don't know what you're going to get, but it's a box of chocolates, of course. All right, so yeah, you made the point. Ordering in a Portuguese restaurant is like a box of chocolates, as is life itself. And you are something. I don't know if I should call you an expert in letting go, but you have a thing or two to say about the art of letting go. And the point I'd like you to pick up on this morning, if I may, is I think worldwise events, we're in an interesting time for humanity. So the whole idea of letting go is we're getting more practice. Let's put it that way. We're getting more potential practice, aren't we? So question being this morning, James, how do you let go when it feels like you can't let go? How can we into this?
I do want to make one clarification about expert. Let's just say I'm well practiced.
Yeah, fair enough. For me, that makes you an expert. Yeah, you are the one-eyed man, as it were.
And it's actually the end product of just paying attention to what's going on with myself. That's the whole mindfulness thing. That's where all of this starts. Is you have to be aware. You have to notice that something's going on before you can do anything about it. So I'm probably 10 years actively, consciously practiced in trying to remember to, when something's going on, to pay attention to it. And it's still an ongoing practice. That's why I love the word practice. That's all it is. You just practice.
And it's never going to be over, is it? Let's face it. So it's a good thing to know about and to learn about.
Well, I've often said that once you got it all figured out, then you don't have to be here anymore, so you die. So there's a challenge to being alive, and if you like being alive, then you can either moan and groan about the challenges or just revel in the fact that it means you're alive.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So here's one quick approach. A quick life hack. Follow him on Instagram for more. Letting go again. It's the answer to two of the questions we've had already this morning, and we will come back to Northern Portuguese. So, are you noticing you're having to practice more? I think it's fair to say a lot of people are having to practice more. What are your advanced tips then for when I get this at the moment? It's kind of manifesting as a little bit of a digital detox. When I look at X, for example, and I see things about my native UK. This is the way it's designed, isn't it? I'm hooked to know more about some terrible headline. I want to get a sense of what's going on back home. I have loved ones there, and 20 minutes later, I'm in a right old state and I am doing some work to let go of that. And when I see myself getting agitated, I do have some sort of inroads into that. But I think that practice, that work is getting tougher and harder. So what are your advanced tips on this?
Stop watching X.
Okay, yes, done. Actually, I have taken your medicine. I preemptively. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So that you're absolutely right.
That's the easiest way, except for the addiction. You have to let go. Well, I guess there's an addiction to hanging on and suffering as well. So there's this sort of addictive quality to all these strong emotional things. And what draws us to social media now, unfortunately, is all the horrible things going on, the horrible things people are saying, how they attack, how they defend, the outright lies. It's like, I don't know if this is by design or not. I don't tend to be a conspiracy theorist, but it's getting to a point where I don't know what's real and what's not when I'm looking at social media.
Same
I
here.
just don't know. Is that AI? Is that so? I'm looking really closely. How many fingers do they have? Are they blinking their eyes? You know, things like that. It's getting better and better. We're coming to a time where we won't be able to tell the difference. And there are outright lies. I saw an interview. And now I'm forgetting her name. Anyway, all this stuff was coming up on my social media about how she was in Texas helping babies, rescuing them from the river, and how you know, all this stuff, and how she was fired from MSNBC and all these things. And she got on to I guess it was an MSNBC broadcast, and just told the truth about what was going on, which is none of that is true. None of it. I haven't even been to Texas for 3 years. I've only been there a couple times in my life. I don't have a child, much less a daughter that I'm struggling with or helping or whatever it is she's told to do. I didn't rescue anyone in Texas. You know, all these things that were coming out about her. She just said that it's just not true. I wasn't fired from MSNBC. I'm
just stop
happy
you there?
I love my job there.
James, somebody told the truth on the news. I mean,
imagine that. But it really woke me up, because I was buying into all this stuff I was seeing on social media. Go, oh, MSNBC fired her, and oh, isn't that a great thing? How she helps, blah 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 blah. All this stuff I'm just buying totally into, hook, line, and sinker. And then to see her generally, and I actually had a moment going, is this real? I don't think AI has gotten quite to that point yet. It all looked very genuine to me. So getting off is the thing. For me, the only reason I got on Facebook in the first place is so that I could maintain some contact with the people I know in my life. That was my sole reason for getting on Facebook. And now, if I don't have something to do in the morning, I'll scroll for an hour, just and I'm like caught up in it like anybody else. So
yes.
Truly, I say that I don't want to say the easiest. It's the simplest way to get away from the original question of how to manage all this mental discourse going on is just turn off the damn TV. Just turn it off.
People were saying this, weren't they, in the 1970s, James? And it looks like it's still very true. And that was when there were only 300 channels in the United States. Now you've got 3,000 plus all the social media as well.
Well, as I recall, it was changed to channel, but now it doesn't matter. You can go anywhere on social media and get the same crap wherever you go. As I understand, there are some sites that are really trying to focus on authentic and real information and real interaction. I don't know what those are, because they don't come up. Because all I do is go to Facebook. But
now there was a presumption or a premise in what you said that I find interesting as well. That it's like you don't know what is true anymore, assuming that we did before. It was easier to believe that things were true before. I suppose.
I didn't say true. I said real.
Real,
to me, so it's like you and I here, I'm 99.99% sure that's really you talking to me, and I know for a fact it's me talking to that 99.99% certainty of you. So that's what I call real. Absolutely. Now, if you were AI, I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure you're not. Based on there's a lot of things in actual human interaction that are very difficult for technology to replicate so far. As I said, I don't think we're far away, but so not knowing what's real, then why are we looking at it? If probably, and I saw the statistics somewhere, something like 90% of what you see on social media is just false, not real, AI generated, whatever. So why are we wasting?
That's the direction of travel as well, isn't it? That's only going to get, as it were, worse. Or, that's what we need to know, that is the reality of how unreal it is. It is becoming.
Yeah, well, when I first got onto Facebook, even now, and it's been, I don't know, over 20 years. Well, maybe not. Anyway.
It's getting on for that, though, isn't it, interestingly?
What?
It's getting on for that. I mean, this has been in our lives for quite a while now.
but even now I've got what identified as 63 friends. It's like people friend request me. If I don't know them, it's like, no, you're not my friend. I mean, I know not all of these people all 63 are friends, but I started with, I'm not going to friend anyone that I don't know. I couldn't tell you something about.
Yeah.
That was my bottom line.
Yes.
And it's still true now. But I wasn't wrapped up in needing to have 1 million friends so I could tell people how liked I was. That didn't matter to me. I just wanted to be in contact with family and close friends in a way that telephone calls, I think part of the reason those have gone out is because you don't know. You pick up the phone, and there's the old-fashioned pick up the phone.
Hello?
You could be, you could be, I don't want to say stuck, but engaged in a conversation for an hour when you don't want to spend an hour. You just want to see what they're up to and see how they're doing. So Facebook provided a great way to do that without, you could, oh, I see them doing this, or, oh, I see this is important. Oh, they had a baby, whatever. And then I can send a congratulations and it's done. Right. So that's why I did it. And I have pretty well maintained that. And as the introvert in me goes, I haven't acquired 3 million friends in that time.
So. Yes, I have succumbed to that sort of behavior. But yeah, you make some excellent points, and perhaps the most brilliant of them all is to just stop it, as has been your advice on other topics previously.
Yeah, well, television is almost completely a thing of the past now too. But television news, any commercial news, I haven't been doing that for now probably 30 years. Just because I knew even then, all it's going to do is bring me down. If they report on,
sorry,
I'm sorry.
But no, I just.
We're doing the dance. You go.
No, you go.
No, I insist.
No, please. No, I was saying, how many times do we have to learn the lesson before we do it? And I think a lot of us are there with television now, aren't we? It's like, this is just nonsense.
Yeah, well, and on the news, my thinking was, if they report on 10 things, 9 of them are, the world going to hell in a handbasket. And maybe one of them is something good that happened today. When I continue to believe that it's really probably the complete opposite. For every 10 things, there are 9 wonderful, beautiful, amazing things happening and 1 horrific thing, which really, if you do the math, means, wow, look at all the good things going on, but you don't hear about those. So that's why for me, it's like, I don't need to do that. I certainly don't need to watch the advertisements, and I don't need to be brought down. So this is all, and it feels like it's just all this sort of tangential stuff, but it all goes to the fundamental practice I have is that of what I learned at Challenge Day, their mantra or motto of notice, choose, act. This is the notice part. Notice what's not working. Notice that I'm feeling down. Why am I feeling down? Oh, there's so much bad news. And I'm still hooked into what's going on in the US. And I thought that I had completely let go. But I look at the news about what's going on in the U.S. and I feel like I'm there, and I'm going to get picked up by ICE. It's the feeling internally when I'm not being conscious about it. I'll go out my front door and some guy with a rifle is going to come up to me and say, "Come with me. We suspect you're not legally in the country," or whatever. And it's, of all the people in the U.S., I would be one of the least likely for that to happen to, given that I'm a man and I'm white and I'm old and all these other things. But it's still possible. And when I watch that, it feels like this could be happening to me. So then the empathy.
It's the power of storytelling. We are going right back to archetypal storytelling, aren't we? And how when imagery and narratives are put in front of you, you assume and imagine, and your emotional system is hacked by the stories. I mean, it's no different, really, is it, to what we were taught as kids? Red Riding Hood, and the mainstream media, that they work on the same principles. Although we think one might be a little bit more sophisticated than the other. I'll let you guess which is which. And we have to turn our attention. We can. I'm sure we'll return to this subject, James. That we need to turn our attention to something lovely now, which is your Portuguese bird of the month. Thank you for all you've said so far this morning. And yes, by way of a aviation or air-based palate cleanser, perhaps, the house martin. Now, I'm glad we're choosing this bird, because I'm never sure if I'm looking at a swift, a swallow, or a house martin. Can you help with that?
Sorry, I can't. I know there are distinctions, but they have to do with habitat and what they eat, and
yes,
where they're located. I think there's something in the wing shape that the swallows, maybe the swifts, have narrower wings and more curvature.
Yep.
You can see this martin, and it's not all martins. It's got a pretty broad wing, but they get down to little subtle differences like that. Many of them nest the same way. This particular bird, I sent a photo, makes its nest out of mud. So it's usually near water. There it is.
Yes.
It can look like some of these Asian hornets' nests.
Exactly. Yes.
But it's actually mud. It's not the hornets make almost a cardboard type thing. I don't know how that works, and it's smoother and all that. But there's a similarity to it. But you'll see these nests up under the eaves of buildings generally. And the birds themselves, I've always said they're sort of the fighter jet of the bird family, because they can almost literally turn on a dime. And I think some people go, I don't know what people think about it. When I first saw it, I said, man, that's amazing. Look, it's tearing off in one direction at full speed, then boosh, it's going the other direction, 180 degrees. And what I learned along the way is they're actually picking off insects. So they're chasing an insect, they're grabbing it, and then they're going off to something else. So that's why you'll see flocks of them when there's maybe a bunch of mosquitoes out or a bunch of flies. They're out there just picking them off one at a time, bam, 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 just changing direction every 2 seconds. So they're pretty amazing to watch. What brought my eye to this bird, because I'm just going with birds I've actually seen in Portugal, and this is one of them. I don't even know how many swallows, swifts, and martins, how many species exist in Portugal. So I don't know, but this is the one I see. That what you're showing there is a mature bird. I send another one as a comparison. That's just sort of gray.
That one's being immature, a bit like T-Duck earlier on, just saying silly things like that. So is that what that bird's doing, flying through the air saying poo-poo?
Maybe you're making some joke about eating bugs, or I don't know.
About being immature.
Yes.
All right. Let's go back.
You can show me. I know exactly how to get every bug there is. Go away, Dad.
There's Dad.
That would be an immature teenage bird.
Well, thank you very much for sharing the martin. And I might just play a little bit of the house martin. We've got Bob and Viv waiting to join us. Thank you. So this month's bird of the month, see if you can see them, maybe even send in a photo. But it is the most beautiful thing, isn't it? And I don't know which of these acrobats of the air it is that I see in town or whatever. But in the evening, when the insects are in the air, when the thermals, when the insects are in the thermals and the birds come out in numbers and go have their dinner, it's the most beautiful thing. And I'd not seen it in quite this way before coming to Portugal. So it's another lovely reason to be living in Portugal, is to see these birds feeding of an evening. Final word, James, from you before we play the house martins. I think we'll play a little bit of the house martins before we welcome Bob and Viv.
Well, not unusually. We get. Well, maybe it's more to do with me than the topic, but we get onto a topic and we get, maybe 10% of it covered because there's so much in it.
Yes.
So I would love to continue the conversation about how do you manage the stress, or how do you manage the pressures from the outside world on you, which can include the whole mess that Ima has gotten stepped into with Ceph, all this other stuff for people who are looking at being here, staying here. For me, just changing my damn address, it's like, oh my God, how much? So
I think, yeah, what a great service this will be. So ongoing, letting go, letting be, and dealing with the what appear to be increasing stresses of daily living, but still lots of beautiful life for us to reflect on upon as well. So parts 27, 28, parts. I think we'll go into three figures on this subject.
We'll see. And it all goes to the simplicity, because it's not all that complex. It's the notice, choose, and act. And mostly what we dealt with today was noticing all these things, all these pressures. And I mentioned one choice is turn it off, stop looking at it. So
well, that was good advice.
Yeah, but there's a lot to be said on the topic, and it's real even if you're not immigrating to a new country. But you put that on top of it, you just multiply the complexity and the challenges of it. So
well said, mate. Well said. Thank you. Great to see you. Make sure you subscribe to James's YouTube channel, An Old Guy in Europe, where there are lovely trips down memory lane, some beautiful Good Morning Portugal memories in there, among many other things and insights from James. So thank you very much. Big round of applause for you. And a little bit of music, and they'll be up with Bob and Viv. Boa semana.
I just want to say this week I'm sharing my train trip to Vila Nova de Gaia. So that's coming up on Friday.
Good. Bit of train travel. So quite a good guide for anyone who wants to learn how to take the train and manage taking the train here in Portugal. Cheers, mate.
Well, at least see what it looks like.
At least see what it looks like. Sorry, that wasn't the phone. This is what I meant to click. Have a great month. See you soon, mate. Take care.
Thank you. My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Okay, there he goes. There's James.